We begin with a breaking story tonight like few we've covered.
Amber Hughes was the first reporter to bring you this crazy story.
A bunch of damage here in Bartlesville, leaving its mark on this area in yards all over, knocking down huge trees like this one. Anyone who owns a backpack may want to think twice before tossing that old bag in the trash to see how this metal is twisted up. So it was a little bit more than just heavy winds that came through here and twisted that thing up like that. In that big 18-wheeler, this guy was driving on the wrong side of the road for miles. It's a 12-inch line. You can see right here the sidewalk has already lifted up, and if you look out onto 11th Street, there's multiple buckles in the road. A gruesome scene when they found that victim. They said that arrow actually went through the top of the victim's head and came out the side. A portion of this church was actually built back in the 60s. Somehow that suspect was able to push in one of these windows. Sounded like a bomb, and it wasn't until he watched the news that afternoon when he noticed it was his daughter-in-law's home. After thieves in the night came and took rims and tires from Broken Arrow dealerships, got on the escalator a little bit too early for that to be so cool. If they aren't paying attention, bad things could happen. That homeowner was emotional, describing the water rising up in her home last night. The Smith family has lived in that home for generations, but now they say it's a total loss.
Nothing like this, and nothing like this fast. I've never seen flood like this.
Melody Smith says she rushed home from Owasso Tuesday evening when she got the flash flood warning on her phone. At that point, the water was just up to her ankles.
Within 45 minutes, the water was coming in my front door, my back door. Water just started pouring in, and I had to get out.
Smith says as water poured in, she heard the electricity popping, so she had to go.
Grabbed my huge dog and carried her through the water. The water in my yard was like chest high.
Smith and her family have lived in their home off Maple Street for decades, but never have experienced flooding this bad.
We were making it work, you know, fixing little by little, and this just did it in.
The Red Cross was able to help finding the family a place to stay, but they were only able to grab a few clothes before evacuating.
We had stayed in a hotel last night, and I didn't realize till this morning I didn't even have a hairbrush. And Alan messaged me and was like, come here now.
Alan Cortran is the director of James Mission Nowata. He was able to help the Smith family with clothes, and they are seeking furniture donations to help the family. Although they've been forced out of their home after the flood, the Smiths are thankful for the outpouring of love.
The home is a whole total loss. It's uninhabitable, but it doesn't even matter. That's just stuff. That's just stuff. My daughter and my granddaughter and I are fine. And everything else is meaningless. It can all be replaced.
That family was able to find a home to rent out in the meantime, but they don't have furniture to go inside. The James Mission Nowata is helping coordinate donations for that family to help them start over. We were right there as that naked guy was arrested, and police say there is no question he was high on something, which made for a very difficult arrest.
Realized the guy was on probably PCP, we're guessing. He had taken his clothes off. He was acting extremely erratic, and at that time we tried to take him into custody, and it took an extended period of time to take him into custody. He was definitely not willing to go with the police.
This was Tulsa police attempting to corral a naked suspect after he ran away from police. Officers say the man caused an accident on 51st and Harvard, driving on the wrong side of the road for miles.
He got out of his semi-truck and ran into the trailer park here, approximately 8800 South Riverside. By then, officers and the helicopter had located him, and they were chasing him through the trailer park.
After the first failed attempt to arrest the man, it took 7 officers to get him over the railing and on the stretcher. That's when he explained why he did it. Why were you driving on the wrong side of the road? Are you high?
Oh no, I'm fucking devil.
You're the devil?
Some Satan guys. Fuck Satan.
What did you smoke today?
Let me say what I gotta say first.
Why did you take your clothes off?
The Bible says that Lucifer rises.
Once we get him to the hospital, we'll try to figure out what he's on exactly, but I mean, his behavior is what I've been trained to, notice as PCP.
Police say once that man gets medical treatment, he will face a number of charges, including hit and run, obstruction of justice, driving in the wrong direction, and resisting arrest. The Barnes family already has a 2-year-old girl, so Dad says the plan wasn't to add another just yet, but to the couple's surprise, their family grew by 3 overnight. Over the holidays, the Barnes found out they'd be having their second child, a baby boy.
So we were hoping to go another year, but it was Thanksgiving and we looked at it as a blessing.
Fast forward 20 weeks, Alicia goes in for an ultrasound and gets another surprise.
Oh my gosh, it's twins! Oh my gosh. Squeaky, we're gonna have two. No!
Although their 2-year-old Lainey wasn't too excited, those babies didn't wait much longer to arrive.
I know something really crazy.
Yeah?
We had triplets.
At 28 weeks, Sunday, Alicia went into labor and told her husband over FaceTime she delivered 3 baby boys.
To get a bigger house, bigger car, bigger everything, nanny, but what a blessing.
Monday, Mom got to touch Bruce, Brody, and Bo for the first time.
3 sons and 1 daughter, so she's got, like I said, 3 little bodyguards, and God, we're gonna have a lot of fun.
Now, since the Barnes triplets are premature, they will have to spend some time in the hospital before all 6 Barnes are home together. Live in Midtown Tulsa, covering news that matters, Amber Hughes, Fox 23 News.
We begin with a breaking story tonight like few we've covered.
Amber Hughes was the first reporter to bring you this crazy story.